Okay, and the last film is The Naked Gun. This is directed by Akiva Schaffer and stars Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson, Paul Walter Hauser, and Danny Houston. It is the fourth in the series of Naked Gun films, which started all the way back in 1988. The Naked Gun, from the files of Police Squad. David Zucker and his brother, I think it's his brothers anyway, that did the original series. Then he directed the first two movies, that one and Naked Gun 2 in 1991, famously starring Leslie Nielsen. And then there was a third one in 1994, directed by someone else, but still written by David Zucker. Leslie Nielsen was Frank Drebin, obviously. We all know that. And irreplaceable, really. So it was a bit of a shock to me to hear that I thought it was a remake, they're remaking Naked Gun. But as it turns out, Liam Neeson plays Frank Drebin Jr., the son of Leslie Nielsen. So they do a bit of a joke on that. There's a bit of a play there of George Kennedy's character. His son's played by Paul Walter Hauser. And there was also somebody who is supposed to be O.J. Simpson's son. They made a bit of a funny joke there that we saw in the trailer. I didn't like the idea of it when I first heard about it. And then when I watched the trailer with Liam Neeson as the little schoolgirl and foiling a bank robbery and stuff, I kind of thought, oh, God, really? This looks terrible. Because, Liam Neeson, when I think of Liam Neeson, I think of Oscar Schindler and Schindler's List. I think of Rob Roy. Remember that? Rob Roy McGregor. I think of Taken, unfortunately, those kind of things. Tough guy action movie. I do not think about comedy. Having said that, he wasn't half bad in this. And I'm pleased to report it was a lot funnier than I expected it to be. I thought I was going to be groaning all the way through. But actually, there were some laughs in this, of that kind of humour. Because, it's very silly, very visual humour, always was. In fact, the first three movies, I go as far to say, are legendary. It's a brilliant trilogy because, they don't need to be written particularly well. It's not about the story. It's about how many gags you can fit into 90 minutes. You know what I mean? That's what the Police Squad was always about. And that's what Leslie Nielsen was always about. He always made those sort of films. So, to think of The Naked Gun without him in, and of all people putting Liam Neeson in instead of a comedy actor, you kind of think, what? And Pamela Anderson, who I love, I'm glad her career is having a bit of a renaissance because I think she's fantastic. She was very good in this. So I was quite pleasantly surprised. And in fact, some of the jokes in this were outrageous. If you remember the thermal imaging scene, I thought, oh my God, that's actually quite outrageous, really. Some of it was a bit groany. Some of it was a bit like, oh God, that's awful. But not so much of it that it made it a bad film. It was actually, a good hour and 25 minutes of some laughs. There were some laughs in there, and I didn't really expect it. And Liam Neeson, as much as I said he's not a comedy actor, he actually, by the end, I thought he did a pretty good job with the material.
He did. I was... I love the original films. I love the Zucker Brothers. Airplane's one of my favourite films of all time. And so obviously that follows in the footsteps of that. So yeah, when they first announced this and the first announcement was mentioned that Seth MacFarlane was going to direct it. He became the producer in the end, but you can tell he's got his fingerprints on it. But I was that was what intrigued me. I thought, okay, I like Family Guy and Seth MacFarlane. I wonder what he could do with it. Then they said it was going to be Liam Neeson, and I went, yeah, that's you, what? So yeah, when I finally got that chance to sit down and watch it, and yeah, I was like, actually, this is exactly what it needed to be. It's incredibly silly, which is exactly what the original films are. It's full of visual gags. There's actually so much going on, as in the originals, that you're missing things because it's just so much shit that's happening. Some of it works and some of it doesn't, but that's again
that's
what
par
happens.
for the course. Yeah,
that's always been the case with these kind of films where but there's just a bit of something for everyone. But there's some very funny moments, it gets more outrageous. As you say, the thermal imaging bit was like,
it was a very Austin Powers sort of joke, if you know what I mean by that.
Yeah,
but
exactly
they took
that.
it to the next level, and it was like, oh my God.
My favourite scene of the film, I think, was when they had the romantic weekend. They went, Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson go off to the lodge and they have a threesome with a magical snowman, but it all turns a bit violent, and they have to kill the snowman. It's just so absurd, but you're just there laughing your arse off. They captured the essence of those original films. They cleverly didn't remake it. Reboot it. It was like, no, we're just going to have it as a sequel.
That was a good choice, I thought.
It was a very good choice. They gave all them nods to the original, and just filled it with gag after gag after gag. And enough of it works for you to go, yeah, this is a great laugh.
Definitely.
Another worthy entry in the franchise. I think out of modern... Because the one thing I've said before is like there's not that many great comedies come out these days.
No,
this is a good one. This is like do more of this actually. Not more Naked Gun, but more this kind of just make me laugh.
They probably will though, because it's that kind of franchise, isn't it, where you can just squeeze the sequels out. So
yeah,
I can see more coming along. I don't know how it performed, but I imagine it did well enough for them to make more of it. And did you know as well that Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson actually got together as an item afterwards?
Yes, they seem to be very...
That's crazy, isn't it? Crazy. I mean, good on them, they're enjoying their lives. It's fantastic, but I was quite surprised. I thought, oh, geez.
It was funny as well. I did see a radio interview after the film came out, and they were talking to Liam Neeson somewhere in the studio, and they're like, oh, how do you manage to... do all these comedy scenes but be so deadpan kind of thing, and he's just got a straight face of just like, I just think of my dead mother kind of thing, and it's the whole radio station's bursting out laughing. Like he's so good with it, the whole deadpan thing. He really impressed me in this of like he manages to do it. And
even though it didn't work sometimes, the fact that he gave it 110% made you sort of forgive him and think, you know what, yeah, that's fine. You can be Frank Drebin Jr. because you just give it so much beans and you've committed to it 100% that you have to kind of admire him for that. I'd rather see him actually do this than all that Taken bollocks anyway, because I just find them boring.
Well, they're boring, and kind of in a way, it's like, it's kind of a perfect way to kind of see out your final years of your career. Kind of go, I'll have some fun with this. Yeah. Than doing shit like that.
And got himself a girlfriend.
Exactly.
And not just any girlfriend, bloody Pamela Anderson.
Exactly, the best.
The best you could ask for, exactly. So yeah, I'd say thumbs up. Fantastic. Definitely worth a watch if you fancy a giggle, especially at Christmas. You can want to stick something on after you've had a couple of drinks and you just want to have a laugh, then it's perfect for that. Very silly, very bawdy, but that's what you expect from these films. Thanks very much for watching this video. We really appreciate it. The best way to support this channel is by dropping us a like and subscribing. Other ways to support us include Buy Me a Coffee and Patreon. This video was sponsored by funkytshirts.co.uk. Check out their website for a full range of awesome t-shirt designs. You can find all the links in the description.